Where are the others? Ask others to also come. Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible? Anuj, Ambar? Are you able to hear me? Are you both able to hear me? Am I audible to both of you? I am also sharing chapter 1 from the book because the book won't be available to you. This book that we are referring is Communication System Analysis and Design, written by Harold P. Stern and Sami Mahmood. And then we'll be referring two more books. One is your R.C. Dixon, related to spread spectrum communication. And the third one is by Bruno Patan, that is for advanced modulation techniques. We'll be referring it. Ask others to also get connected fast. I am sharing this book with you in the chat box. You can find it. It's 52. This is the chapter first. Chapter first is scanned by my phone. It is 52 MB. So I am sharing it with you. Also, we will be discussing about it. Yes, Nitin is also here. Nitin, am I audible? Am I audible, Nitin? सुनाई दे रही है आवाज? In the meanwhile, I start the chapter, and this chapter first will be uploaded, and you can download it. So we'll start with frequency domain analysis. I believe all of you can see this page 1. Why it is important, we discussed in the first unit also why it is important. It is written, our mathematical tools must provide us with the capability to analyze the electrical characteristics of transmitter, this line, channel and receiver. We can perform these analyses in two ways. Number one, time domain analysis. In time domain analysis, we examine the amplitude versus time characteristics of the waveform. That was very much understandable in the first lecture. Frequency domain analysis. In frequency domain analysis, we replace the waveform. We replace this waveform with a summation of sinusoids that produce an equivalent waveform. We then examine the relative amplitudes, phases, and frequencies of the sinusoid. The case for using frequency domain analysis in communication systems. Frequency domain analysis looks harder Then time domain analysis, because we have to keep track of amplitudes, phases, and frequencies. 3 parameters are there. This is very important to note down: amplitude, then phases, and then frequencies. 3 parameters in frequency domain analysis for a whole series of sinusoids. Furthermore, all of our intuition and years of experience involve time domain analysis. We have usually dealt with time domain analysis of the system. So why use frequency domain analysis now? There are 6 reasons why frequency domain analysis is preferred in the communication system. It's very important to note down. The first reason is if the channel is linear, the concept of impedance and superposition can be used to reduce channel analysis from problem that requires differential equations in time domain to problem that requires only simple algebra in frequency domain. We won't have to go to differential equation solving. We can simply use some basic algebra, some basic trigonometry, and we can easily understand. Then let's start with the formal definition of linearity, because we all have heard that system should be linear time invariant system. So those type of systems are being dealt with. You all know what is the definition of linearity. You can easily see there is an input x, then its output will be, say, a function of x, y, output will be a function of y. If I multiply the input with a, capital A, and another input with b, the summation of both the inputs should also be amplified in the same magnitude by a times and b times. So this is also shown how graphically we can represent these things. Now, second, the same concept of impedance transfer function, linear system, and multiplication versus convolution can be applied. Here's the second thing why we are going for frequency domain analysis. These 6 aspects that we are discussing will be asked time and again. That these 6 aspects will be asked time and again about that why frequency domain analysis is important, why we are using it. So you have to note it down, and you must remember always there may be a question coming in your semester exams why frequency domain analysis is required. So these are the points, 6 points. The most important one which I see are the last 2. Power calculations are often easier to perform in frequency domain. Analyzing the effect of noise is easier in the frequency domain. So we'll be seeing this through questions. Suppose let us take an example. See, channel analysis using time domain and frequency domain tools. There is an example. Consider a RC channel that can be described using the following RC model. See, ST is equal to AC 1 plus cos omega MT cos omega CT. MT is cos omega MT denotes the message frequency, omega CT is the carrier frequency. When I model it as a time domain equivalent channel model, the channel looks like a simple RC circuit model. There is a transmitter which acts as a source. There is a receiver which acts as a load, and then R is the resistance offered by the channel. C is the capacitance of the channel. So similarly, ST is basically the excitation from the source. RT is the reaction by the load. Now simplifying the circuit, what I see, I get a general representation like this. Okay. Now solution using time domain, I simply apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. What we get? ST, which is the input, this thing is equivalent to the voltage across the resistor plus the voltage across the capacitor. It is the sum of the two. Where ST is also being considered as a voltage. So this entire voltage is basically sum. Kirchhoff's voltage law has been applied to it. So substituting the value, what was ST? What was ST? This was the ST given in the question. So replacing the value by same. What is VRT? It is the current. If the current flowing in the circuit is I, which is suppose a function of time dependent current, IT into R, and then similarly voltage across the capacitor can be written as 1 upon C integral 0 to time t IT dt. We must now solve this differential equation. Then we will get the answer. So it's very complicated to get the answer using time domain. We cannot analyze what is happening in the channel, what is happening at the transmitter receiver end, how the system is functioning. Hence we go for frequency domain analysis. What we do, we simply use that ST, equation of ST, we bifurcate it, we break down it, we simply apply basic trigonometry, cos A into cos B, we get three frequency components. One is the carrier frequency, one is carrier minus message, one is carrier plus message. So while we analyze this using, see, if I analyze using time frequency domain, we are easily getting the response from the channel this way. Where I can get the overall response by summing each of the response by the three frequency components: R1F due to simply omega c, R2F due to omega c minus omega m, R3F due to omega c plus omega m. So this is easy using frequency domain, which was very difficult in order to solve the differential equation. It was very difficult in time domain. Now you can see why it is easier. Similarly, I can plot magnitude spectra from those omega c minus omega m. What is the magnitude? 0.58 times. Omega c, the amplitude magnitude is A. Omega c plus omega m, then 0.58. So these are the magnitude spectra of the received signal. Magnitude spectra of the transmitted signal. Both can be received easily when I apply the frequency domain tool. Whereas when I was using time domain tool, what was happening? I was last left with this equation, which is very cumbersome, very difficult. Then you apply, then you try to solve this equation using differential equation and in time domain, but it becomes really very difficult to solve out. So hence we will go for this approach, frequency domain. That's very, very clear. Now another question we'll take: extracting signal from noise in the frequency domain. Okay, just this example illustrates how certain characteristics of the signal may be easier to identify and measure using frequency domain analysis rather than time domain analysis. See, we'll see a figure which is figure 2.6a, is the time domain representation of a 1 volt peak at 10 megahertz sinusoid buried in the noise. There is noise and the signal is available in the noise. There is a signal amongst noise component. So signal could represent as a transmitted message from a distant satellite, suppose, and the noise could be from the atmosphere. Let us suppose. The effect of the noise caused the sinusoids to be virtually noticed. That will be seen in figure 2.6. We will soon see it. Is the magnitude spectra of the same signal. Note that the effect of the noise are spread out over all frequencies, making the presence of 10 megahertz signal very noticeable. See, this is 2.6a. This was the signal actually. There was noise also. So what we find that when we convert it into frequency domain, we find a signal and the noise below it. So it's very easy to understand. अब हम frequency domain में ये भी आसानी से जान पा रहे हैं कि भैया ये signal है आपका and this entire thing is noise. Whereas in time domain आपको signal और noise दोनों इतना mix up हो गया है कि पता ही नहीं चल पा रहा है. So this is another important aspect. वो 6 पॉइंट जो आपको बताए गए वो 6 पॉइंट को ही समझा रहे हैं, दर्शा रहे हैं ये एग्जांपल्स. ऐसा क्यों है? अब आते हैं फोरियर सीरीज पे, क्योंकि हमने डिस्कस किया था कि फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन एनालिसिस में फोरियर सीरीज एक टूल है जिसको हम यूज करेंगे. What we see, sometimes you can use trigonometric identities to convert a signal from time domain to frequency domain, as we did in example 2.1. This method, however, can be applied in certain rare cases only. Okay, that means simple trigonometry can only be applied when the number of frequency component present in the signal are lesser. एक दो या तीन कंपोनेंट है तब तो आप साधारण ट्रिग्नोमेट्री लगा लीजिए, लेकिन हमेशा तो लगा नहीं पाएंगे. जब ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंसीज होंगी सिग्नल में, अगर बहुत सारी फ्रीक्वेंसी मान लिया 8 या 9 या 10 फ्रीक्वेंसी या उससे ऊपर है, चैनल में हजारों होती हैं, तो उस केस में फिर हमें फोरियर टूल को जाना पड़ता है, यानी कि बहुत सारे साइनसॉइड्स और कोसाइंस का समेशन होता है. तो ये देखिए आप, एक सिग्नल st है जिसको टाइम डोमेन में इस प्रकार से रिप्रेजेंट करना है, लेकिन ये फाइनाइट एनर्जी होना चाहिए, कंडीशन होती है. फोरियर ट्रांसफॉर्म ओनली होल्ड्स when magnitude of st square any signal that is to be represented using Fourier series or transform will come to later. First of all, we will discuss only Fourier series. We are considering the signal to be periodic. So in this way we can represent a naught, where represents the first monotone with the DC component, and an cos 2 pi fn n f naught t and bn sin 2 pi n f naught t. This represents the other components where I am applying n f naught t. N means first frequency, second frequency, third frequency, or any number of frequencies can be considered in it, and a summation is applied so that most of the frequencies can be covered. This is how a general Fourier series is represented, where f naught is equal to 1 upon t. 1 upon t, t is the time period of the signal. That means we are considering the signal to be periodic. Signal must be periodic. A naught can be calculated this way, an can be calculated this way, and bn can be calculated in this way. Whereas we see an is basically a cos-based component, cosine-based, and bn is a sine-based component. A naught is a DC component. That means it does not encompass any frequency. So Basically, the A naught is a 0 hertz frequency component or a DC component. So, say terminology, we call the A naught the DC term or the average value term. We produce A naught by averaging the signal over one period. We call the terms A1 cos 2 pi f naught t and B1 sin 2 pi f naught t. This is the first component we are assuming, the fundamental frequency component. बाकी सब उसके क्या होंगे? Integral form होंगे n times of that. A1 A2. So for following A1 B1, then A2 B2, then A3 B3. Similarly, the frequencies will increase twofold, threefold, fourfold. That is what happens basically in Fourier series representation. Now see, trigonometric Fourier series representation of a stair-step signal. See, we see this is a stair-step signal. Can you see all? All of you can see this. Yes, this is a time domain representation of a signal. Okay, which is being repeated every how many times? See, 0, 1.